My first book made the New York Times bestseller list because I copied the whole thing from the government. I told you I flunked English in college. Nothing in our government is copyrighted, so it belongs to everybody. So I found a book in the government printing office that listed 15,000 programs. And I just copied and pasted that, and I sent it to the publisher in New York. And they published it, and I went on TV talk shows, became a New York Times bestseller. Then I had another New York Times bestseller, and to help individuals. And now I help them even better, because books to me, particularly like books to start a business or make a million, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you have to do something. So they're like diet books. People buy all these diet books and they still get fat. So people buy all these self-help books and they still don't do shit because it takes work.
My guest today is famous, and not only in the C-suite, bunch of people. Today we're speaking to somebody who can help individuals, who can help people from the grassroots who want to start their own companies, or people who are in a difficult situation. He's been a guest to people that for sure you know. Tell me, Matthew Lesko, you've been on so many shows.
Well, Larry King, Letterman,
Yeah.
and then the Tonight Show, the Today Show, all those things, because that was how I sold books. And I realized that I didn't have advertising money, but I realized everybody needed a guest. And I quickly realized guests on television in America, it doesn't matter what you say, it's how you say it. And it's really just entertainment. And so I would go on and I'd act crazy, and they love that. But it was really to educate. I was a professor of computer science, and I was teaching adults computer science to get their degree, and they were working all day, and they'd come in and try to learn computer science. And I figured the first thing I had to do was keep them awake. If I didn't keep them awake, I couldn't learn anything. And
Okay.
that's what
And how did you keep them awake?
By just being funny and clever. And
Okay. Is that where the whole outfit came
Yes,
about?
yes. Well, back then I didn't, but now every day I got a closet that looks like a circus costume department.
I guess it comes with the package, to attract attention.
Yeah, exactly. But this is me inside. This is more than marketing.
Yeah.
This is me. Always wanted to dress like this, and never had the courage till I got in my 50s. And it was always inside me. Now I feel it's so important. And I had to give a speech when I was dressing like this, because I was getting a lot of TV. Harvard Business School wanted me to come up and talk about branding. And they thought I had some big consulting firm help me decide what my brand was. And I got up there in this big auditorium of people that wanted to learn about branding and their business. I said, I'm just having fun. This was not thoughtful at all. It was what I call living inside out. And I think the same I see now, maybe it's because of my age, but in business, it's more to be successful. I feel it's that, because the more authentic you are, there's so much crap, on the internet, and people say anything they want. And so but if you're not authentic, the authenticity is able to break through a lot of the noise.
Yeah.
And so that's why, to me, this is me. I'm authentically, this is me inside. So what happens if you like this, I know I'm going to like you, because this is really what I am. If you think I'm crazy, we're saving each other lots of time.
I was asked once, what's my favorite color for a car? And I always had this image of a yellow car with pink dots, or a pink car with yellow dots.
Oh, yellow is my favorite.
Yeah, I love yellow as well.
Oh man, I have yellow all over. A couple of yellow suits, and a yellow car with question marks on it. Now
Fantastic.
now I'm into hearts. So I worked in getting information for management, top management. I got an MBA in computers back in the 70s, and my mission was to get information to management to make decisions. And what I found out in the early 70s is that the computers were only using inside information to help, was accounting and manufacturing and stuff like that. But what really made companies have to think about what's going on outside their country or company, and now your country, because that was when the oil embargo stopped the United States because of the price of oil. And the whole country stopped. So that was some little country nobody knew about in the United States. It ruined the whole economy. So I said, top management had to learn about this stuff. What's going on in their competitors, their technology, the legislation, inventions, all this stuff, to be able to keep ahead and to monitor their environment, not just what's going on inside. And so I designed a system called the External Management Information System. And I go out to all these big companies, try to convince them to buy this thing, couldn't make a sale. And so then I said, I needed money. So I said, I do research. And what they were doing research for at the time, a lot companies buying and selling companies or mergers and acquisitions. And so I said, yeah, tell me what you want to do. So they want to start a chain of pasta stores or something like that. And I was in Washington and I didn't know what Washington had at the beginning, but I'd go out and do the research, do the market study and competitive analysis about the pasta business. And what I was, I just get on the phone. I was like a reporter, I get on the phone, make a bunch of calls. Who's an expert in pasta? And you talk to them. And I thought all the experts were in Washington. Yeah. And there was a pasta expert at the Department of Commerce, who spent 15 years studying the supply and demand of pasta, and he had market studies on who's making money and what kind of money in the pasta business. And also he said information on government programs to help you give money to start pasta stores and all this stuff. So I'd go to the government office and pack all this information that I got for free from the government office there. And I'd put my name on it and I'd thank the government office for it with a little note. And I'd charge thousands and thousands and thousands for this stuff. And I got it all for free. And after that was my first successful business. And I said, God, why doesn't everybody know this? And I thought, not only rich people, rich people will find out stuff to the hire guns like me to get anything they want. But the average person on the street, my immigrant grandparents from Czechoslovakia had no idea. And me growing up, I thought the government was the post office, and the Division of Motor Vehicles, and that was it. And I was astounded that I was helping millionaires become billionaires because of these government programs. So after about 5 years of doing that, a successful business and a divorce and a bunch of other shit, but I wanted to just help average people know about these programs because they're there for everybody. So I started doing books because that's the way you talk to them. And I flunked English in college. For me to write a book, I mean, I thought that would be like me going to Mars or something. But I was getting publicity at the time in my business to business thing, and some agent, a literary agent, found me and said, "Yeah, we get you a grant to do that." Oh, well, that sounds to me to be an author. Wow.
I was going to ask what the books are about, but you wrote about the grants in the book.
Yes, exactly. And actually, my first book made the New York Times bestseller list because I copied the whole thing from the government. I told you I flunked English in college. Nothing in our government is copyrighted, so it belongs to everybody. So I found a book in the government printing office that listed 15,000 programs, and I just copied and pasted that, and I sent it to the publisher in New York, and they published it. And I went on TV talk shows, became a New York Times bestseller, and I had another New York Times bestseller, and to help individuals. And now I help them even better because books to me, particularly like books to start a business or make $1 million, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you have to do something. So they're like diet books. People buy all these diet books and they still get fat. So people buy all these self-help books and they still don't do shit because it takes work. But now, after people stop buying books, then I thought, oh man, I'm screwed. Nobody's going to buy a reference book anymore. They have the internet, all this. Bookstores were closing, everything. So that business was gone. I had to figure out another way to do this. And so I started a newsletter, and that turned into something that was way beyond my imagination. It turned into a community. So
And
now
you
we have
post
50,
it anywhere on Substack or on your website? Where's the?
it's a closed website, but it's only $20 so for $20 a month, we have 15,000 people that help each other get government grants. So when they get something, they know it. And like right now, there's probably today there'll be 3, 4, 5 hours of live Zoom calls, so people can other members could ask them how they got the grants, and how they do it. So I used to charge $10,000 for this. Now I charge $20 because they're the people you could afford $10,000. They're not fun to work with, tell you the truth. I don't know about you. People could only afford $20, man. They're a lot more fun.
I
And
think it
needy.
depends.
Yeah.
It
And they really need it too. And that's so
Let,
that's what
yeah.
so that's what I do now. And and I thought, well, if I just want to make a living and help to pay my bills, and became so profitable now that and it's just a little company, we give out $50,000 to $70,000 every month to members. So the profits we get go back to the members.
Wow.
And I thought I grew up, and I still did until I did it, thinking you had to be Jeff Bezos or someone like that to give away money like that. And no, a schmuck like me
They give it to nonprofits for tax saving. It's not like they're really giving it away.
exactly right. Yeah. And so that's why I like giving it to people who really need it.
Hmm.
I don't even want to give it to nonprofit. I
Yeah.
want to give it to people. And 500 to $1,000 means a lot to 50% of this country can't
Mm,
afford a $500 bill.
yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about these individual grants? I know there are different groups of people that qualify for various grants, but like the most
Yes.
common type the
Yeah.
most common grant, I suppose, that anybody could apply to as an individual in the US.
Yeah. Well, uh, yeah, the one thing you should know about grants is that you're not going to find them in Google. And that's the biggest problem because Google is where everybody goes to find information. But Google is about capitalism. See, in our country, and I don't know about your country, but we're made up of two divisions in our country, capitalism and what I call the community. So the capitalism is Google. So everybody there needs money. And so they pay Google to be there to get money from people. Now we have a community, and your country does too. I don't know how big it is, which is
Probably
40%.
bigger. It's probably more than half.
Right, exactly. See, we're at 40%.
Hmm.
Okay. And Google and this part of our country, which helps people. So these are all programs. It helps businesses, individuals, anybody to succeed who need help. And the rich people know that. That's why they're all over Donald Trump now, because they want more of this stuff. And that's how I learned about it, by helping rich people. And the average person doesn't know it's there too. And the problem is, okay, want to get a grant, go to Google, and you can't because you won't find it. You'll get some, 200 million websites that
Yeah.
say they're going to help you, and they all want your
How do you
money.
find out about it? Only through you, or is there a direct
No,
government?
no, there are other things. There's a couple of what I do. I write down these websites. I don't. Do you have a minute to look at one or two of them or not?
Sure, of course, yeah. You want
Okay.
to open them and share?
Yes, you open. Yeah, you. I'll show you where to
Ah,
go.
okay.
Here, if you're looking, want to help entrepreneurs, okay? Right? Your
I want
audience
to
is
help entrepreneurs, but also the people that you want to help. So,
okay. Well, let's
uh,
do entrepreneurs first because
all right.
ladies first, okay? Uh, so to go to SBA.gov,
SBA.
B as in boy,
Yeah,
.gov/ and then local
yeah.
dash assistance. Okay, now that is all the programs I'm going to show you there are not money from the SBA. It's a database they keep. And if you find that, And then if you put in your zip code, oh shit, you know what's going to happen? You're not
Where do
in.
you put the zip code? Here in the search?
Yeah, my zip code is 20009, but I think because you're not in the United States, it's not going to work.
No, it doesn't matter. Let's go with yours.
Okay, but I'm worried that the website won't let you do it.
Ah, two, three zeros and nine.
Right. That's Washington, D.C.
Uh-huh. Let's try it with another code.
Oh, no, wait, no, you were at the wrong page. Uh, go to let's go slash. Oh, then slash. No, not again.
Get
Local.
assistance. Ah,
No,
local.
local. Sorry.
No, you said local last time, and I did type local, I believe.
Okay, now go slide down a little bit. Okay, there's the zip code.
All right. So what was it? Two?
Zero zero no 2009. All the numbers are there, just a little different. Oh, good. Oh, magic. Good. Okay, go down a little bit more. Now, if you're a business, a current business or whatever, and you live in this area, there's 22 nonprofit organizations that will help your business with any problem you have for free. In other words, they get paid by nonprofit organizations and businesses to help you find money to start, help you find money to grow, help you solve legal problems for free, help you solve accounting problems or technology problems, anything for you to grow. Yeah. So you have 22 organizations. So if you go to Google and put in something similar, like I need help with a small business, you get 200 million.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not going to try it. Yeah. I
Right.
believe you.
Right. And see, this is to me gold. And so this is where you start because see, these people know the program. And so it's best to call two or three of these people and see what the landscape is for getting help for your kind of idea, or to help them work on your idea with you to find out how to change your idea to get help from the money that's available for a little bit different idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
May I ask you
it,
one question? Because in Europe,
yes.
thank you. In Europe, there's so much bureaucracy that I know these are not governmental organizations, but still, as non-profit, they're not as efficient, I suppose, as for-profit organizations. At least that's my perception, but maybe they are. So, what is the speed with which they work and the efficacy? Are they actually doing the work to help people?
Uh, as much as any other large organization is. I mean, I don't know about you, but you could call Comcast or any large company and try to get something out of them is the same thing. The difference is that where people, I think, have more of that opinion because they don't know where and who to call. See, people say, I want to get a government grant or something. My camera has a mind of its own, and I got to get it back in place there. Okay. So you're going to Google and you're looking for a government office, and you'll call 1,500 offices that won't help you because they don't. They're not there to help your problem. But if you find the office that helps your problem, that's where it gets much more efficient. Uh, and you're right. I mean, I worked for Fortune 500 companies, as a consultant, many, and I really saw as much bureaucracy in the government as in these large companies. I mean, that's a function of being large.
Mm. Yeah, in Europe, it's the other way around. Actually, there's more bureaucracy in government than,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I guess uh, it's harder, and I'm sure there's in both cases. The other thing, I think maybe it's capitalism. There's a bigger bottom line, and that's why we try to use this capitalism as a model for a government, and that won't always work either because it's there to help people
Hmm.
versus make money. I mean, capitalism is the mission is to make a profit. The community is to help each other. So it's sort of like a different kind of mission. And we, both work well, I guess, in a way. Uh, some of the time, most of the time, whatever. I mean, I see life as you see what the hell's out there and how you could use it. I don't care if it's good or bad or whatever.
Yeah,
And even and even if the government is too bureaucratic with it, well, if you have an easier place to get money, go get
yeah.
it.
But these are nonprofits that you just shared with us, the way to find them. Is there a
No,
way
no,
to reach the government
no,
directly?
no. These are the same. When I say nonprofits, they're both. In other words, the nonprofits I told you, actually, they're getting money from government and other nonprofits. Now, that listing, uh, I mean, there are plenty of government offices that help buildings, that help government, help businesses also. Like every city, every state, every county has a special government office to make sure businesses in their zip code are growing. Okay. And so a state will have maybe as 20 or 30 organizations, government and nonprofit, to help businesses grow. I mean, this is where jobs come from. So government officials are very important to do that with big companies, small companies, or anything. So they are all over uh, the countryside in a way, but they don't advertise, so people don't know about them. And that's why
Hmm.
it takes, I think, now in our society anyway, to know about anything, it takes the phone more than the internet.
Yeah.
Because the internet, you just get so much crap. You don't know the good stuff from the bad stuff. But if you call, like, they want to start a business and call three or four of these organizations and make appointments for free, you'll get a good, view of the landscape of the kind of help that is out there to choose a path that's right for you. And that's why it's sort of like, because the information landscape is so complex and so overwhelming, you have to go out and you can't actually have a specific goal in mind. You have to find people who know the landscape, like doing reconnaissance in the military. You send the scouts out to find out what's going on out there before you make an attack. Where's the easy way, where's the hard way, and everything. Otherwise, like starting a business, oh, if I just had $100 million, I could do anything. Yeah, you're right, but maybe it's easier to do it this way or that way or whatever. So people who are there doing that every day can give you that advice, and they're free. So if you go to Google and try to find advice like that, they want to get a lot of money.
Mm. May I ask now about some very specific thing about the US grants? Coming out from the European environment, the grants that are given here to smaller companies always require a certain percentage that is sometimes quite high of self-participation. So they would say, I'll give you a grant for this and that amount of money, but 30 to 50% needs to come from you as own participation. Is this the way it is in the US?
Some are, some aren't. I mean, you can't say anything. There are no anything you say about a government grant is right, and everything you say about it is wrong.
Yeah.
There are just too many.
Too many,
I
yeah.
mean, for everything. I mean, so like for a business, I mean, particularly small business. I mean, there's grants, okay, only if you're starting at home, if you're home based, because they want to keep people employed, or if you move to a certain uh, uh, a city, they'll give you $30,000 because even if you're a freelancer, because they just want people to pay taxes there. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. Uh, Sometimes, and because grants are forgiven, you're not paying them back, so they don't worry about getting you paid back. So credit reports and things like that aren't as much of a problem as they are in getting other kinds of business money, like loans, particularly from banks, because they don't expect it back. It's all about economic development, creating jobs. Banks are about creating cash and profit. See, the government programs for business is that you get a job. And so they're taking tax money to give you money to help create your job and maybe hire other people to create jobs. So it's a different motive. that's going. So the community is the motive, and in the capitalism, they have to be more, efficient because they're there just to make money for investors. So the bottom line is that the bottom line is a more of a community uh, project to help people with something, whether it's you know,
And
whatever.
when it comes to large companies, you said you've been doing this before. Are there specific grants for larger corporations that are
Oh,
also available?
oh, absolutely. This is why, the new president, he has every billionaire in our country now following him around because they know they could get more money from the government than they could ever in starting a new business.
Mm.
And they don't have to pay it back. I mean, Elon Musk, he gets he's got about 6, 7 billion. The numbers are so big.
Billion, trillion.
Billion. Yeah. It's just crazy money for large companies, but also small companies, and
Mm.
individuals, so mom and pops starting a business, a little coffee shop, an ice cream. I just found was $100,000 to make and sell ice cream. Yeah. And it's all what we call economic development because you create jobs and that starts the system. And that's what it's seed money for all of that. It's job training. I mean, any company could get hundreds of thousands of dollars easily just to train your employees or hire your employees because, see, the government, even though they're not making money on this, they're getting somebody a skill to get a decent paying job to pay taxes. See, it's an investment in the long run as opposed to uh, a commercial organization that needs to make a profit this quarter. See, this is long range for the government, so they have different motives and different. So it's not always understandable to somebody who's particularly like me, have an MBA to say, what the fuck are you doing this for? You don't make money.
Mm.
But they have different motives. Yeah.
Yeah. And so for a large company, would it be the same source that you pointed
Oh,
out?
absolutely. Actually, here's the source I would do if you're a large company. Go to EDA.gov.
EDA.gov. Yeah,
Yes.
I will share
And
it.
then there's a tab in there for
Give me a second,
resources.
I will share.
Uh, okay. Oh, so I got to find you again. Okay. Up on top, resources and tools.
Yeah.
You want an economic development directory. There it is. Okay. Choose your state. Where do you want to move to?
Let's say over here,
All
Arkansas.
right. Okay. They're all the economic development offices in Arkansas. You'd want to start at the top, would be the state government office, and then
Mm-hmm.
go down and call as many as you can. See, they're all programmed. I mean, everybody there is free.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody there has money programs too. Like if you go, let's look at Kansas Economic Development Commission up on top, top. No, not that top. Their state government office. No, below. Yeah,
Here.
that one. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They letting you in? Okay. Business resources up on top. Yeah. Okay, business development, international business resource, small business, entrepreneurial resources, manufacturing, so the existing business, film and motion picture. Yeah, you want to make a picture here. Site selection, community resources. See, there's another community. So, let's see, happy working. Uh, yeah, the financial should be one for it. Let's look at community resources.
Where was it? Here or up
That
here? Mm-hmm.
on top, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Oh, community development program, competitive. Okay. Yeah. See, they're disaster entrepreneur resource. Okay. Yeah. These are the money sources. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. See, entrepreneur ecosystem. So, see, they
Wow.
all, yeah.
Mhm. What's the reason the government is not popularizing all of these resources and these websites?
Nobody has advertising money. I'm not positive, but after studying this for 50 years, I think what it is, you have to go to your elected officials. In other words, if you're in charge of this department, okay, and you say, hey, I want to give away $100 million to entrepreneurs, okay, and then you go to the elected officials and convince them to give you $100 million to give to entrepreneurs, okay, and then you say, oh, I need $10 million to advertise. I'm giving away $100 million.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving you money to give away for free.
Yeah. Wow.
And now we have to advertise, we spend money to advertise. See, but the commerce that's logical, right? Because nobody's going to know it. You don't have a customer if people don't know about it. And that's it. And there goes my brain again. uh, so I think that is it. And that's why the rich people usually know about it. They've figured that out. And the average person new to getting it, no idea. And they'll go to Google and they'll get sidetracked.
Yeah. Let's talk about the average
Yeah.
people that needs this funding the most now.
Yeah, I think the best website for this, and I'm worried that you can't get in it, but is findhelp.org.
No, I've been blocked.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
cannot open
So
it.
this is where all the 40%, not all of them, but most of them, this 40% part are in that database. And you could go to that database, findhelp.org. In our country, all the free money is in .org or .gov, not .coms. .coms have to get money from you, okay, to survive. But the people who in .org, which is nonprofits, they already have their money. They're giving it away. The same with .gov. They have the money already they need to pay everybody. They're giving it away. So they're the two you want to do. And actually, I find AI is very good at that. AI is a place to do that. Maybe we could do that. I could show you that. Want to? Or do you do Chat GPT?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
still won't be able to use you want me to do a search in ChatGPT?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Second.
The ChatGPT is great because it could act like Google, but you could tell it that only show me the free ones and nobody's selling you anything. See, that's what's great about this.
Okay. What should I ask?
Uh, 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 Show me 50 websites in Pennsylvania from government offices and nonprofit organizations that provide money and help to buy a home, include websites. Okay, so that's 50 offices from government 50 sources uh,
Sources.
from government offices and nonprofit organizations that provide free money and help to buy a home in Pennsylvania.
All right, let me share the screen to see the answer so that everyone can see the answer.
Yeah.
Taking a bit. Here we go.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I know most of these organizations and everyone right on spot. See, if you go to Google to do something like this, you'll be overwhelmed. Yeah, there's no way. Is that it only gave you 10? Okay, give me 20 more. Show me 20 more. Sometimes it does that.
Yeah, specifically said 50 sources, but maybe it misunderstood.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
the sources with websites or.
No, I get this a lot from ChatGPT. Hey, there's much more.
Yeah.
And you could do 50 more and it'll help more.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just teases you and say, you really want this? I don't know.
Yeah. How
I,
many lives have you changed with
how
this
many
knowledge?
what?
How many lives have you changed?
Oh
Individuals'
God. Yeah.
lives.
The interview I just did. Oh, he was wonderful. The sweet man. Um, and he was telling me how he had 4 kids living in Queens, New York, was about ready to lose his apartment. He saw my infomercial on TV. This is like uh, probably 20, 30, 40 years ago. And I just changed his life. He said, I don't, I mean, it astounds me. And it's so not, I mean, that just blows me away when people are so sincere about that. But I don't think about that. I mean, I love hearing it. And sometimes I dismiss it. I think it's the nuns who told me not to act that way. I sort of pretend I'm not impressed, but I really fucking am.
Well,
Yeah,
congratulations. Tap yourself on the shoulder.
right, exactly. And that's wonderful to hear. And I get that. And that's what keeps me going. I mean, it's not, I mean, to think that if I know something that somebody could change their life, holy shit, I feel I have nothing better I should be doing in my life. That's why I'm 81 years old and I feel I could do this for another 10, 15 years, maybe 10 at least. And I should be doing it. Oh, when am I going to go play golf in Florida? I mean, I'm a shitty golfer. I mean, in the States, that's what they dream for is being able to retire and do something they're lousy at. Now, that sounds crazy. Find something you're good at so you could contribute for the rest of your life. And for me to be able to wake up and gee, possibly help another person like that is there's nothing more I should be doing in my life.
Yeah. Wow. And now people are going to need it more and more with
Right.
AI and with
Exactly.
even the people that are going to be released from the government, all of these.
Exactly. Oh, it's a zoo. And it's hurtful and cruel. It's too bad. But yeah, it's just more opportunity for me to teach
To help
people
them. Yeah.
this. Yeah. And another thing I've been doing recently in the older um, is loving more. I mean, I don't know about your culture, but men in my culture, in my days, we never even said the word love. I mean, I thought, yeah, I had to marry you if I said love. And now I feel that, as a man, the things he worked at in life were being stronger, being faster, being smarter. Well, at 81, none of that is going to get better. All that stuff is going downhill. But what I feel I could do is I could love better at 81. Yeah.
When did you transition to the hearts from the question marks?
Yeah, that was slowly, uh, just maybe about 5, 6 years ago. But about 2, 3 years ago, I even started saying it more because I found even when I say the word love, it somehow opens my heart more. Just to
Mhm.
be able to say it, maybe that's another trauma thing we could work on.
Yeah, yeah. That's not only a generational trauma; it's a humanity's trauma, I would say.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, that was, and I see that even saying the word now. Oh, and I changed my I never had friends in a way. I mean, I like people and I help people, things like that. But personal friends and socializing never interested me. And wife, Smiley, we call it, dragged me to parties. I may had fun when I'm there, but oh God, I have to go. And we moved downtown. Uh, we live in an apartment building with a condominium, about 70 things, and I throw a party or two almost every month now for the whole building, just to have people communicate
yeah,
and the community feeling. And so you don't go in the elevator and just look at the numbers on
yeah.
going up.
How
that
do
people,
people perceive it? Do they
yeah, it's
get it well?
nice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really warm. And there's a couple of people that are stodgy that don't, but you know that it,
Yeah.
yeah, I just keep doing it. I mean, we twice a year now we have three or four rock and roll bands in the driveway, for a
Mhm.
whole day, you things like that. Valentine's Day parties all the time, and anything to bring people together.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's fun.
So how does your group work, your community
It's
work? Hmm.
$20 and all you could eat, $20 a month, and it's 15,000 people helping each other get the programs. There's every day there's 3 or 4 hours at least of people that are live on Zoom to help each other, live answer questions. Uh, we have it. Yeah, it's constantly being reorganized because there's so much information and organizing it. Uh, we also give out grants ourselves to people. Um, I'm surprised that everybody said you can't have a financial services business and only charge $20. You have to charge 200 or 2,000, things like that. And I wanted to be the $20 guy. If you could afford that, you didn't need my help. You're already okay. And so I only wanted to charge $20. And we became so profitable with just $20 that we give $50,000 to $70,000 every month away to members. So they have 4 different grants of ours that we give out to apply to. And that's a wonderful thing, at least for my heart. I feel
Yeah.
really good. And it, uh, yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd be a person like that. I thought you had to be Jeff Bezos or his ex-wife, to give away all the money like that. And so for a coal miner's grandson, be able to do that is, yeah, that feels really nice. And just the heart of giving, because all that giving opens your heart, and it's very selfish to me. I think giving is the most selfish thing in the world because it feels
Because you receive so much back, you mean? Yeah.
absolutely. It's,
Fantastic.
we're all.
Moderate. Hmm?
Go
Who
ahead.
mod
I'm sorry.
who moderates the group, the community?
Oh, I don't know. It keeps growing, I guess. Uh, people have been with me a long time. Um, the community's only been around about 3 years. How many months? God, I don't even know as much about that. It keeps, no, really, I have a
Is it
great
like
person.
self-organized, or do you
Oh, no,
participate?
no. We have
No.
a structure. Actually, a woman from Belgium. She's great in communities. She's a wonderful, intelligent, warm, human-loving person who's reorganizing this. That's great. And that's and then the researchers that help everybody. And then and I thought, oh, if I had something like this, because I can't answer every question for somebody. So, and if it's actually at $20, I don't know how I'm going to pay the rent. But when I saw that people were helping people, wow, they don't even need me. And it's just a feeling. And yeah, it's just the best thing I've ever done in my whole life. And I've done more than I ever thought I would do. I mean, barely got through college or anything and been thrown out of school. Um, but to have a couple of successful businesses and a couple of New York Times bestsellers and all this kind of stuff is more than I ever imagined for myself. But now this is even better.
What do you think this is due to? What do you
Uh,
assign your success to?
keeping at it for 50 years.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's funny how I've been saying the same thing for 50 years. And trying to do this. And you just get better. You want to get better at tennis, you have to practice tennis. And you want to get better at something else. And that's why, to me, your heart is smarter than your brain.
Yeah.
And if you use your heart, that will get you into places that you want to be, not places that other people said you should be. And if you're places that you want to be, you'll put up with all the bullshit because you want to be there. And I think it's the same with personal relationships. You have to want to be there. Because anything you do is going to be a pain in the ass. That's what
Yeah.
being human is about. So don't try to find the easy way. There's no fucking easy way. And to make it easier is to use your heart. So you're there because you want to be.
Yeah. That's a golden advice. I would put it on par with all the funding sources that you gave.
Well, it's true because that's what makes things happen.
Mm,
I used to think you needed the right answer to a question, and that's why I used to wear question mark suits. Now I wear hearts because even if you have all the right answers, if your heart's not in it, you can't make it happen. Yeah, and your heart has to be in it to make it happen. So no matter how good advice or anything you need, man, if your heart's not there, you're going to find 15 reasons to stop.
yeah, true.
Mm.
Matthew, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation. You put a smile on my face for longer than I
Oh,
expected.
great. Well,
Thank
thank
you
you.
very much for all the funding sources that you provided for
Wow.
small companies, for corporations, for individuals.
Right.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Anybody. And for you too, maybe. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And I'm
Thank you.
sorry
Once
again I was
again,
late.
how can people, yes,
Uh,
oh,
findhelp.com. No, not find help.
your
Wait, that
website.
we could get Leskohelp.com.
Let's
I
go
still
help.
I give find help so much like I get confused my own help.
Let's go
Leskohelp.com.
help.com. Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.